It is the 4th of October, the year 2024. We're glad that you're joining us this particular night on KUTV Primetime News tonight. Our reporters have been up and about interacting with different issues and different people, and they have brought you different stories tonight. Here are the top ones. Public participation sparks diverse opinions and violence in Gachagwa's impeachment bombers forum. Parliament extends Gachagwa's impeachment motion public engagement to tomorrow. KU Chancellor Ambassador Dr. Francis Muthaura holds a public lecture at Varsity's Amphitheatre. Agriculture and Food Authority called out for increased sugarcane theft in Busia County. This is KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. Now join us for the next 40 or so minutes as we inform you on what's happening in the country and beyond our borders. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Lucy Carrier. My name is Mutegi K. Martin. Let's get started. Now, residents of Laikipia County have lamented over the manner in which public participation in their county was conducted, as some say they did not get the chance to make their voices heard. Now, according to the residents, the process kicked off yesterday night, contrary to the stated expectations, and this comes as the High Court Kenya ordered for a second round of public participation engagement on the same issue, calling on Parliament to facilitate participation at the constituency level.
To go or not to go is the biggest question in the country as Kenyans from across various walks of lives come together in various parts of the country to give their opinions regarding the fate of the second-in-command, Rigathi Gachagua. On one hand, some Kenyans feel the need for both the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his boss, President William Ruto, to step down, while others support the single impeachment of the deputy, while calling on the President William Ruto to fulfill his campaign promises. Yet another group of Kenyans maintain that the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua should remain in office. A look at happenings from across the country, and we are met with these opinions. A section of Sune East residents in Migori County have supported the impeachment of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, arguing that Gachagua's conduct in office has prioritized the Mount Kenya region, a situation they claim is dividing the country.
And I want to confirm to you that as people of Sune East, we stand together with our MP. He has our mandate. Ile kura alipiga kama MP ya kutoa Deputy President, sisi tunamuunga mkono. Yes. Number 2.
The situation in Laikipia was somewhat different. Some residents lamented that they were unable to participate and were instead turned away.
Kenya hii milima iko kila mahali. Hatukumchagua awe rais wa milima, tulimchagua awe naibu wa rais wa Kenya. Lakini sio wa mlima uko kwao. Hata sisi hapa Migori tuko na milima na Migori tumesema Rigathi Gachagua wapi?
Gachagua must go home because he has deprived our country peace. There is no unity, there's a lot of tribalism, there's a lot of barbarism just because of one person called Gachagua.
Additionally, some believe that some of the opinions issued in Laikipia are not that of their own, stating that some people from outside were brought in to opine in a certain favor.
Leo tumekuja na tukafika mahali tukaona sisi ni kama sisi si wa Kenya, kwa sababu tulipokuja hapa tulikuja kutoa maoni yetu ndiposa tusikike. Wakati tulifika hapa tulipata already kumbe zile fomu yenye tulikuwa tunakuja kusign ilisainiwa usiku, watu wakakula pesa, watu wanakuja kututapikia hapa. Ikafika mahali tulipoanza kuuliza ni kwa nini mambo inaendelea, kumbe timu hata ya walikuwa wamepangana usiku. Wakafika mahali wakasema already kitu imeisha.
Kama Ruto anataka Gachagua aondoke, hata yeye aondoke, wakuja waombe kura upya. Mambo ya hizi kura kujazwa zilianza kujazwa jana. Hii exercise yote ya kupigiza hizi kura ni exercise gushi.
This come at the backdrop of a court order issued from the High Court directing that Parliament should organize for a second round of public participation at the constituency level, stating that the process is not to be conducted as a mere formality. Yvonne Kemuma, KUTV.
Now, in a response to a court order that was issued by the High Court, Parliament has extended the public participation exercise on Gachagua's impeachment into tomorrow to enable adequate time for Kenyans across the country and in every constituency to participate in the exercise. In a statement released by the clerk of the National Assembly, Samuel Njoroge, Kenyans from the 290 constituencies in the country will be allowed to converge at their respective member of parliament or county woman representative's office from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's fate in the Kenya Kwanza administration continues to hang in the balance, even as he awaits the Parliament decision regarding this particular impeachment. Now, as it stands currently, the National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula has directed that after this public process currently in progress, the Deputy President will be invited in this particular space to defend himself next week. And as our reporter Akida Kasim takes us through this particular impeachment process. Take a look.
Among them are gross violence.
An impeachment is a political process that is governed by Article 151B of the Constitution. The removal of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua under the 2010 Constitution can occur for two reasons. One, mental or physical incompetence, or through impeachment motion. On the 8th of October next week on Tuesday, the National Assembly will be debating the motion of the impeachment and also listening to the Deputy President. At this point, the DP is allowed to appear in person or to send legal representation. The Deputy President may be removed from the office through impeachment that can be initiated for three particular grounds: gross violation of the Constitution or any other law, committing a crime under national or international law, or gross misconduct. Emanate from these grounds, the impeachment process follows Article 145, which highlights the entire procedure for the impeachment of the President, but also applies to the Deputy President. It begins in the National Assembly with a motion initiated by the members, where the MP moves motion of impeachment. In the National Assembly, that particular motion must be supported by at least a third of all members. The National Assembly will vote if the 2/3 of the members vote, that is 233 members. Then the Speaker Moses Wetangula will inform the Senate within 2 days. The Senate is then supposed to convene within 7 days, where they may choose to appoint 11 special members committee to investigate and provide a comprehensive report within 10 days. If committee finds allegations not substantiated, there will be no further proceedings for the impeachment motion. After giving the Deputy President to be heard, at this final stage, the whole House now will vote on impeachment. Here, at least 2/3 of members must vote in favor. If passed, the deputy president is removed from office. Remember this, the deputy president has options. He may choose to face his accusers or resign. If impeached, DP may appeal the decision to the High Court. Akida Kasim, KUTV.
As was planned today, Kenyans from across the country converged in designated areas to make heard their opinions in regard to Rigathi Gachagua impeachment motion. Now, in Nairobi, citizens made their way to Bomas of Kenya. However, all was not rosy as chaos erupted earlier in the day.
Today, members of the public were given the opportunity to express their views on the motion to impeach the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from office. This public participation exercise took place across all 47 counties in Kenya. In Nairobi, residents from different constituencies conveyed at the Bomas of Kenya to express their views on the impeachment motion. During the process, participants received forms to indicate their support or opposition to the motion, while others had the opportunity to fill out the forms online. The events unfolding at the Bomas of Kenya today were, however, not as smooth as expected. Violence and disruptions were witnessed. Chaos erupted when activist Morara Kibaso was attacked by unknown individuals during the forum. Chairs and other objects were thrown at him, causing panic among attendees. Security personnel struggled to restore order as people scrambled for safety. Despite the disorder, the forum provided Nairobi residents with a platform to share their perspectives on the motion, with some supporting the impeachment of the deputy president and others opposing, offering diverse viewpoints. Various leaders present at the event emphasized the importance of public participation in such matters. They called for the public to be included in decision-making process. Diana Shipai, K.
Kenyatta University's Chancellor, that is Ambassador Dr. Francis Muthaura, on Friday during his first public lecture at the university's amphitheater, called for informed engagements and clearly laid out vision and strategies between various stakeholders in the education sector for the production of quality skilled manpower into the job market. Take a look.
Moments after 10 a.m., the Kenyatta University's 6th Chancellor stepped into the amphitheater, ready to deliver his maiden public lecture under the theme Strengthening Higher Education Through Strategic Reforms and Stakeholder Engagement.
Various faculties who are here.
With university funding standing tall as a critical issue in Kenya, Ambassador Dr. Francis Muthaura urged the national government to invest more in education through prioritizing the education sector in the government's budgeting process.
Adequate funding for universities and equivalent technical institutes is critical for the sustained development of higher education, for continuous production of creative and innovative population. Most developed and best performing economies are also ranked as having the best higher education with the best endowed general universities, technical universities, and also universities of science and technology.
Dr. Francis Muthaura insisted on the huge role research and innovation has continued to play in shaping the current society amidst emerging trends, emphasizing on the crucial need for proper execution of visions and strategies systematically.
We can now say Kenya has a relatively a good number of universities, and they are still growing. How do our universities rank regionally and globally? It's one thing to have the numbers, but it's another thing to have quality and competitive universities. At the African level, Among the top 200 universities, Kenya has 18 universities listed, with Nairobi ranking number 7. Our own university, Kenyatta, ranks 31st, and Strathmore University, which is number 3, ranks number 37.
Characterized by an informative question and answer segment, KU's Vice Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi termed the public lecture as a platform to enrich the university's stakeholders, staff and students' experience while at Kenyatta University.
I believe that him being here in our institution and holding that position, he will be able maybe to champion, maybe to take us, or maybe to help us to arrive to the levels that he has been able to see out there in the corporate world.
When you are here as students, and also when you are here as staff, there are certain things that we assume when we are here because they are available. And until you exit and you realize how much we have actually, how much and how many opportunities that you have lost. And so through such lectures, we delve into complex issues of our time, examine potential solutions, stimulate both current and future leaders to action for societal development. For me, it's something that I want to introduce because it's part of what defines what a university is and ought to be.
With today marking the beginning of many other public lectures expected to be held at the university on a regular basis, the Office of the Chairperson Public Lectures Series, Professor Richard Oduor, hereby invites suggestions from the public on the next thematic areas they would want discussed during the next public lectures. In his first ever public lecture as Kenyatta University's 6th Chancellor, Ambassador Dr. Francis Muthaura reiterated on the importance of Kenyan universities to benchmark with other world-class universities to ensure they produce top-notch graduates. He also called upon the government to ensure that in its upcoming budgetary allocation, the Ministry of Education and other education sectors gets the largest portion. Theo Masharia for KUTV.
All right, thank you so much, Theo Masharia, for that story. We now take a short break right here on KUTV Primetime News. We'll be back in just about a bit. Stay here.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke wake. usikose kutazama kipindi cha Mwanamke Mwake, nami Caroline Kimwele. Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics inclusive of, but not limited to, dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. Lucy Kiari and I are back to keep informing you what's happening in the country and beyond our borders. Let's get on. Now, the Agriculture and Food Authority in Kenya is now on the receiving end, and this is after a surge in cases of sugarcane theft in Busia County, which threatens the stability of the sugar sector, apart from causing untenable losses to sugar factories in the region. Despite stakeholders implementing measures to curb the menace, cases have continued to increase, with West Kenya Olepito factory suffering the most losses.
Despite stakeholders putting in concrete measures to stop sugarcane theft in Busia County, cases of theft have continued to surge, with West Kenya Olepito factory being the ultimate culprit. In Ochude Village, Teso South constituency, Kennedy Otegete, a sugarcane farmer in active contract with West Kenya Olepito factory, is counting losses after more than 4 acres of his cane farm was harvested without his knowledge by the Kenya Mumias Company.
Leo nimekuja kutembelea shamba yangu, nimepata shamba yangu imekatwa. Miwa imebebwa na kampuni na tinga, ambapo nimekuja kuulizia majirani wa hapa, wananiambia wanashuku ni kama kampuni ilikuwa tinga ya Mumias. Sasa nimeshindwa kujua, na hii miwa nilikuwa nimecontract na Olepito West Kenya. Sasa nashindwa madeni hii nitailipa namna gani?
According to Paul Migingo, who is Kennedy's neighbor, he observed Kennedy's cane farm being harvested and carried away by Kenya Mumias Company, but he didn't raise any alarm as he presumed his neighbor was aware of the activities in his farm.
Sisi tuliona tinga ikiingia hapa, tinga kama ya Mumias, kabeba miwa wakaenda. Nilifikiria jirani ndiye ametuma watu kufanya nini, kukata miwa, kumbe ni waisi. Kidogo ndio mimi nikampigia simu, shamba yako imevamiwa, wanakata miwa, wewe ndio umetumana? Ati hapana. Ndio yeye pia akakuja akadhibitisha kweli, akapata miwa yake wamekata, ambapo sisi tunajiuliza.
A similar incident unfolded at the Amase village, where more than 5 acres of cane belonging to Innocent Oluku, a local farmer also in active contract with West Kenya Olepito factory, was harvested by Mumias Kenya and transported without his knowledge, a trend that continues to cause tensions in West Kenya Olepito's managing body.
Days when I have heard about the AFA, I don't know what it is. What is it in full? What is that thing you are telling me? They should in fact induct farmers, trade farmers, on when to harvest.
According to Titus Ondigo, an officer in charge of farming at the West Kenya Olepito factory, Paul Migingo and Innocent Oluku's canes were harvested prematurely after only 9 months as opposed to at least 16 months, as stipulated by the laws that govern cane farming in the country, which could threaten and even destabilize the sugar sector in the country.
Tuko hapa leo kwa ajili ya kesi ya poaching, ile tunaita wizi wa miwa, na kwa sasa tunashuhudia shamba ambalo Olepito ili develop, shamba ambalo limekuwa na investment ya Olepito, shamba ambalo tunafahamu kwamba ni miezi 9 kufikia sasa, na shamba ambalo pia liko contracted na sisi. Vile unavyoona, hii ni contract ambayo tumeandikisha na mkulima.
The incidents have left the stakeholders pointing out their finger at the Agriculture and Food Authority for failing to mitigate the problem and allowing some companies to operate above the law and ignore the laws governing cane farming, which could prove catastrophic in the long run. For KUTV, I'm Sam Metiaki.
The Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, has launched a project to relocate elephants from the Mwea National Reserve in Embu to Aberdare National Park in Nyeri as a result of human-wildlife conflict within Gitaro, Kamburu Dam forests and their environs. The Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Rebecca Miano, reiterated that 50 elephants will be relocated from Mwea to the Aberdare National Park. This, she said, while overseeing the relocation of the first 2 jumbos in the program.
Ndovu zimekuwa zikiadhiri watu wa hapa Embu County na wale wanaishi pamoja na wanyama, na pia wamekuwa wengi mpaka wameanza kuadhiri hizi vituo tumeona hapa za kutengenezea stima. Ndio maana tunajaribu kuwaondoa hapa tuweze kuwa na management na conservation ile inafaa ya wanyama.
Tukiongea vile tutaweza kufungua Mwea Game Reserve kwa tourism, iwe inaweza kusaidia wananchi wa Embu County na Kenya mzima, kwa sababu ni game reserve ambayo haijatumika hata kidogo, haina watalii. Kwa hivyo pia tunaongea mambo ya vile tutaweza kufungua hiyo game reserve kwa watalii, na ni kazi tulianza hii mwaka ikianza pamoja na Kenya Wildlife Society wakuwa na manage hiyo game reserve on behalf of Embu County government.
Time for us now to go beyond our borders, and prior to Kamala Harris entering the presidential race, polling showed almost half of all voters were not happy with both President Biden and former President Trump. Last April, VOA spoke with one member of the African diaspora community who was also considering not to vote. VOA's Jeff Swicord recently visited him again to see if Kamala Harris' candidacy had caused him to rethink his decision.
Tears are coming, which means he's growing.
Tama Bahati and his wife Antoinette are immersed in the joys of parenting with their first child.
Yeah, he's eating too much, he's growing fat.
Bahati came to the United States from the Democratic Republic of Congo on a student visa in 2001 to attend Chicago's Catholic Theological Seminary. In the DRC, he never had the opportunity to vote.
I knew of the struggle of the Congolese people to vote. Then there was opposition, but very little opposition. The crackdown on any dissent was, the norm.
Do you want milk? I say, brrr.
At school, he was fascinated with the U.S. political system.
It was so good to know that I can talk about the president, I can talk about the governor, and I go to sleep and no one will knock at my door.
He became a U.S. citizen in 2017, but still enjoys some of the comforts of Africa when he can.
When I finished my interview for citizenship, I was given the opportunity to sign up to vote. And that was actually surreal to me.
He voted in the 2018 presidential election. When he was leaving the polling center, he got another surprise.
This is an election judge training manual. It was at the door. Would you like to sign up to become an election judge? I said, really? Me? I can be part of this? These are the procedures. The next election, that was a local election. I was an election judge.
Bahati works as a policy analyst at the Africa Faith and Justice Network, doing advocacy work for U.S. policy in Africa. When we first talked to Bahati last April, he was unhappy with both President Biden and former President Trump and was considering not voting. He's critical of former President Donald Trump's opposition to the Affordable Care Act, which provides health care to over 45 million Americans.
I would ask, how do you want the American people really to enjoy life when, if they get sick, they can just go bankrupt and be homeless?
He says President Biden's unwavering support for Israel in the Gaza war is conflicted.
It's out of question. Either you are for peace or you are for war. You cannot do both at once.
Now, with President Biden's exit from the race and the introduction of Vice President Harris, he is reconsidering voting.
With Kamala Harris, so there is an open mind that I'm willing to utilize here to see what is to come.
He says what must come from Harris is a stronger acknowledgement of the Palestinian struggle. He is unhappy that a Palestinian advocate was not allowed to speak at the Democratic National Convention.
Those two communities need to live together. End of story. That's where we are going. That is the vision of the new politics. So the Democrats, they need to give also the platform to those who represent our opinion on this issue.
For now, Bahati says his vote is a secret because there is still time and the political landscape continues to shift. But like his young son, his interest in voting continues to grow.
It's very good.
That's it for this particular segment of international news, but I'm reminded international news will be coming to you shortly. That is in the sports world. See you in a bit, and be sure to keep watching KUTV News live this particular Friday. We're streaming on YouTube at KUTV_Kenya, and we are live on Twitter at KUTV_Kenya. See you in a bit.
Katika maisha yetu ya leo, wakulima na jamii nyingi kwa ujumla wanakumbatia teknolojia mbalimbali na kilimo hai ili kuondoa magonjwa sugu na kuongeza usalama na utoshelevu wa chakula. Mbolea asili imepunguza asidi kwenye udongo na kuongeza mavuno chungu nzima. Wajua tuko shambani, na humu shambani pia kuna ng'ombe, kuna kuku, na wanaacha uchafu wao. Na huo uchafu si wa kutupwa, ni wa kutumika katika kilimo kama mbolea. Kwa sababu mimea hii imekuwa kutumia mbolea ya hawa wanyama. Wakulima mbalimbali wamekumbatia teknolojia ili kuokoa gharama ya ukulima na kutumia nafasi zilizopo katika mashamba yao.
Imagine a world where you are empowered to take charge of your health, where you are well informed about the latest advancements in healthcare and understand the policies that impact your well-being. Get ready to take charge of matters your health as we bring you a blend of weekly health features that engage professionals from across various medical fields.
When do you decide as a patient, do I need to go see the doctor? We are at a stage where we are seeing all this manner of chronic illnesses and we wait until we get a disease and then is when we go ahead.
From the most mundane to the complexities that perhaps seem overwhelming, we got you covered.
In terms of the factors that might be attributed, there are hereditary factors that means it could be genetic, so that's one factor. But there are other factors as well, like nutritional deficiencies. So some vitamins such as folate have been identified to be a factor in those. So
Our mission is to break down intricate health topics into understandable and actionable insights. Join me, Yvonne Kimuma, every Wednesday 9 p.m. on KUTV's News at 9, where your health is our priority.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
All right, welcome back. We are ready with sports news. Let's get right in. And Kenya athlete Immaculate Anyango Achol, the world's second fastest woman over 10 kilometers, has been provisionally suspended by the Athletics Integrity Unit AIU. This is after testing positive for banned substances, including testosterone and erythropoietin, EPO. Anyango made headlines in February when she clocked an extraordinary time of 28.47 in Valencia, Spain, finishing behind her teammate Agnes Ngetich, who posted a world record of 28.46. The 2019 Africa Under-20 Championship silver medalist has also enjoyed numerous top finishes globally, including second place at the BAA 5K road run in Boston and the 10-kilometer race in Bengaluru, India. And moving on, Erik ten Hag has pleaded to be given until the end of the season as Manchester United boss after needing late Harry Maguire equalizer to salvage a 3-3 draw in Porto in the Europa League yesterday night. Ten Hag was under major pressure before the trip to Portugal after just 2 wins from the United first 6 Premier League fixtures of the season left them languishing in 13th place in the table. The Red Devils have also drawn their opening 2 Europa League games to sit 21st in the 36-team table. That reminds me that sometimes life gets very tough, and it's not a very good season for Manchester United, aka the Red Devils. And therefore, we continue to keep them in our prayers and hoping for better days ahead, even with the famous Glory, Glory Man United song that is not anywhere to be seen right now. We come to the end of our conversation for tonight, and be sure to join our weekend team as they open up to a weekend full of information on what's happening in the country and beyond. Tomorrow at 6:30 and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Mizizi Weekendi will be coming to you live, and at 9 p.m. the Weekend Live will be coming to you to make sure that you're informed on what's happening in your country and beyond your borders, even as we continue to work hard and long to make sure that you get proper information, entertainment, and inspiration right here on KUTV, a new experience. We come to the end of the conversation for now. Lucy Kiari is our sign language interpreter for tonight. My name is Mutegi Martin. Good night.